Hey everyone, welcome to Bitrate. Great show for you today. Today we're diving into Crucible, Amazon's latest foray into the gaming space. State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition, which just had its second anniversary, and also Astroneer, a little blast from the past there. We are also talking recent stream upgrades and have some more channels we think you'd love to see, so stay tuned. I'm your host, Chris, and with me as always, we've got Jeremy and Joey. Guys.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Not much. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. So let's get into it. Right?
Shall we?
There's a hot game that isn't really too hot lately that just came out. Crucible. What do we think? Who's been playing it? Who's got impressions?
Well, it depends on what side of the screen you're on, but yeah, I've been playing it. Yeah, I've been playing it. It's first off, it's free to play, so not to expect too much from it. But then I heard Amazon put it out, so I was intrigued. So I queued it up, and I didn't know what to expect. First of all, it's obviously a PvP game where you sort of like Overwatchy or Paladins type of setup to where you have different players that have different skill sets.
What? Did you say Paladins?
Yeah. Paladins? Did I say it incorrectly?
Okay, all right, just checking. I'm just like, what is Paladins?
I don't believe is that. Hey, you know what?
Paladins?
I mean, like,
Paladins?
look, if you're playing a game about Pilates, that's a different story. But
Yeah.
Truth.
all right,
Anyway,
continue.
two different game modes. You have one where it's sort of a battle royale where you and a group of 4 go in and you have to collect essence. So it's where you kill PvE NPCs, and when you kill them, it drops essence, and you carry it, and you have to take it to and inject it, and so on and so forth. That's how you get points. Last person standing wins. They have a 2-person team the same way, and then they have one, which I'm sure everybody who's listening to this at one point in time has played World of Warcraft and PvP with that. The Altric Basin, basically controlled node.
Alterac Valley, AV.
Is that no? AV is where you go kill
Arathi Basin?
whichever. Arathi Basin.
There we go.
There you go.
Did I say that?
I do have one question. You said last player standing wins. Last team or last player?
Last team. Last team.
All right.
So where you control nodes and you win the game. However, whenever you kill an NPC, the essence goes team wide, so you can get upgrades relatively quickly. I think this is the better game mode right now because there's no rezzing in the BRs, obviously. So, and you get a chance to learn how to play quite a bit of characters at higher levels because you rank up fairly quickly. So
basically, at its core, this is a team-based shooter where the strategy is really like resource cultivation, right? So you're dropped in with other teams. You are fighting for resources. The more resources you gather, you level up, you get more powerful. So you've got like this dichotomy of whether or not to mine resources or kill enemy players, pretty much.
Yeah. So, and the one thing with this particular game mode, I forget what it's called, Kill the Harvesters or something like that, is that I'm sort of torn. Like, I don't know what's more important to get essence, so my team gets stronger faster, or to control the nodes. It's sort of like this hodgepodge of game styles, which kind of work and kind of don't. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why a lot of people don't like it. I know a lot of or not a lot of people. I know some of the negative reviews say there's no in-game comps, there's no VoIP. Well, if you're playing games like this, you're generally going to play them with friends, right? I think the in-game VoIP argument or conversation is largely overrated because everybody's using Discord these days.
And you can Discord from your phone.
Yeah.
And you can Discord from your phone, yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're playing on Xbox and there isn't a Discord app that I'm aware of.
They've got party chat though.
Discord. I talk to Jer on his from the phone on Discord all the time. Every single time he drives home from work, he calls me to let me know he's okay.
I believe it.
Love you, boo.
So okay, so let's talk about critics and reviews this game, right? So this game, it was announced a couple of years ago. It's tens of millions of dollars in development. And honestly,
Which is a drop in the bucket compared to other games.
Right.
It's Bezos money, dude. You're
know.
talking Bezos money.
So, one of the interesting things that I've seen is that, it's, I wouldn't say it's critically acclaimed, but it's been well received by most critics, right? Everybody's got a positive review and a positive take on this game that has almost no player base right now.
What was the player base?
So, as of a day or two ago, the peak was 11,000 at launch, and then as of a day ago, the player base went down to 4,400. It dwindled over the course of a week. It's been out a week. So,
Yeah, I think that'll change. I think that is definitely a good enough game to attract attention. The thing is, it was kind of on the down low. I remember hearing about it, I think when I was watching something on Amazon Prime a few months ago, but that was the one time I heard about it, and I saw it and I asked Jared, and he's like, oh, it's this Amazon game, and the two connected in my mind. But yeah, there wasn't a ton of fanfare about it, you know what I mean? So, and by that I mean advertising. I didn't see a lot, so that could be a massive part of the player base being small.
You can't crash and burn if there's no expectations.
Right.
That's true. And I mean, also it's a free to play game, so it is definitely going to garner a following.
So
you know what I mean?
Do we
How
think
big that following is just depends, I guess.
I mean, so do you guys think that it's got some staying power? Do you think it'll be around in a few months?
From what I saw, yes.
I think it will. I think what we're looking at right now is just the base game. And to be honest with you, like Joey said, right? It's a Bezos game. And he's tens of millions of dollars. That's a drop in the bucket. I bet you he was like, hey, I know a couple buddies. Is like, hey, why don't you rent out my garage?
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, you can have the garage. Hey guys, make a game for me, please.
Hey guys, build a garage for these guys to make me a game.
Just build a game. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I got Bezos money. That's kind of way how.
Wait. Now, does he use his own word or his own name in the third person? Guys, I'm Bezos rich.
Yeah,
Bezos wants you to build a garage for these gentlemen to make a game for Bezos.
Oh my god.
It's not Bezos. It's not pesos. It's Bezos.
It's Bezos.
Yeah.
So.
How many Bezos you got, man?
How many Bezos you got?
So let's
Make
talk,
it Mad Bezos.
Let's talk a little bit more.
Sure.
One of the other things that I've been looking at is the discussion about the cast of characters, the hunters, if you will, and their play styles, right? So I mean, there's a tank, and then there's damage. How do they play compared to other games of the style or of the genre?
So there are a couple characters that I have sort of taken to as my own. Summer is one of them. Summer is she looks a lot like Zarya, believe it or not, but she runs around with double flamethrowers on her arms, and she does, basically fire dots, right? More dots. We need more dots. And she has an area effect, and she has a direct effect, and depending on how you, it's a lot like a MOBA too. So before you go in, you can select how your skill tree is going to go, right? Which I think is really, really cool. So it's not every game is going to be exactly the same, and not every player is going to be playing exactly the same. I personally do it. She has this skill where she flies up in the air and she drops fire on the ground.
It looks
skill.
Cool.
Yeah, I've seen
it.
It
Looks really,
cool.
really cool. Yeah. And you have an ability to upgrade this to do more damage.
So now, you say it's MOBA-like. Now, do you get to do the talent trees reset game after game, and so you have the ability to granularly go in every game and choose the playstyle that you want to play?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, and the thing about this is, some people still compare a game like Overwatch to MOBA gameplay style, and I've always kind of been like, it's more like Team Fortress and a team-based objective shooter. There was a game that was released a while back, right around when Overwatch came out, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was more of a MOBA like this. This feels like one of the first true
Was it
third
Battleborn?
person, first person shooter MOBAs. Like, actually, it feels and looks like a MOBA, but you're not top down.
Joe, was
You
it
know what I mean?
was it Battleborn?
Battleborn, that was it. Thank you.
So this game is heavily being compared to Battleborn in terms of just
Is
like
it?
raw numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Battleborn
Okay.
tanked.
Yeah,
Essentially.
it did. Unfortunately, it was kind of cool. Like, I didn't, but Overwatch came out.
Yeah.
So there are some characters in their character stream that are eerily similar to games that we've played.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Heavily influenced, if you will.
Say what? Say it again.
I said heavily influenced.
I think so. But I think when you're playing games like this, right, where you want to create a cast of characters that have a large swath of abilities, I think that the tank that well is pretty dry from, different from original ideas is what I'm trying to get at. There's not really that many original ideas when it's coming to these games anymore. So like how you meld those things together and what sort of play style and how are they going to be played. And I think that if Overwatch 2, which is supposed to be sort of RPG-ish, you know what I mean? I don't say RPG, like where you do some character progression and have different
It's
skills
PvE Overwatch, like the events.
but I think you're going to be able to level up certain characters to where you're able to unlock certain abilities.
Yeah.
This has that, but it has it in a short burst window, like in a game window, so you don't have to wait 2-3 weeks as you level up to get a certain skill, which I think is really interesting.
And I just like to say something is I don't think it's a lack of originality. This takes place all across the board. When you're making something, it's going to be heavily influenced by the things that you like and that you enjoy and stuff like that. So, all these games that have Overwatch looking or ability like characters, I like to think of it more as you know they're emulating something they love, you know what I mean? And that's what the people at Overwatch believe too. It's not like they're copying us. It's like, no, dude, that's showing how much you love something else, and you wanting to kind of make your own version of that is a good thing, I think. And it's called a breakthrough when something really, really original comes out, you know what I mean? Other than that, it's usually a progression of older stuff mixed with newer stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, small like derivatives on each other, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Like something new mixed with something older.
And honestly, the shooting style really feels a lot like Fort. So
people are gonna have an easy transition into the gameplay. Is that what you're?
I think so. I think there's a very, very small learning curve, and once you figure out the kind of MOBA style or the style of play you like to play a certain character, I think the play threshold is going to go up.
So basically, it's a jump in, play a few matches, and then you'll pick it up, sort of game.
Yeah, I think so. And to get really, there's like that sort of learning curve, right? To where if you want to get really good at a character, it takes time and effort to put into that character. So, and you do level your characters individually, by the way. So there's that.
So like each different character has its own progression.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I mean, impressions, overall impressions from playing last week.
So I'll give this to Joe because he watched me play and he's seen other people play it. What is your immediate?
As in, like a rating, like a score.
Yeah, from a viewer side.
It was fun. It was fun to watch. I think if you enjoy someone and they're playing it, that it would be just as fun as anything else. It's visuals are pretty cool. Abilities are cool looking. Characters themselves and the dynamic of the game is pretty cool. It's like other games like it. Like it's very watchable, especially if you're watching someone you enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Jer, like, how does the game feel? What does it look like? What kind of rating do you give it overall?
So I always go back and forth with this. So what is the game worth, right? So when I go into Steam and I find a game, I'm like, okay, well, this game's $9 or $20 or $30. Like, what's my expectation moving forward?
Mm-hmm.
So given this is a free game, it's exceeded my expectations. It doesn't feel like there's any latency, even though there is some, but it doesn't feel like the syncing is too bad. But I do feel like there is definite room for improvement, and I think that
Like in
I
what way?
really hope it stays around. Like, I think
It's
there's,
going.
yeah, I think that
Bezos isn't gonna. He's not gonna dish out money like this if he's not gonna at least attempt to make it work.
it's a drop in the Bezos, man.
It's a
I know,
drop
but
in the
they
Bezos.
really do. Amazon and its subsidiaries or whatever business speak, they really do push things. They try to make things work. You know what I mean? So I don't think they're just going to be like, you know, it didn't work. I think they'll at least give it a good attempt to make it better and
So now,
fuller.
like a good
So-
example of this is Riot, right, with Valorant. At the release of that, now they poured a ton of money into basically like, you know, paying streamers to stream the game. and it's huge, right? They drove I don't know how many millions of views to Twitch. Like, do we think that Crucible, if given enough money and time, can recreate that sort of?
No.
No.
So here's the thing about Crucible, is that I played it by myself and I played it with somebody else. I happened to pop into somebody's stream and he was having a hard time hitting queue times. And he's like, hey, you want to play with me? I was like, sure. So I got in there, and that was actually my first real taste of the game, is with somebody else. And I can assure you that it is way more enjoyable of a game with friends and not taking it seriously than trying to get in there and kind of roll around solo and try to take on 2 or 3 guys.
Now is that because the VoIP is missing and it's in the sort of communication between your teammates?
No, I think it's just... No, I don't think that has anything to do with it, to be quite honest with you.
You think it's just like a purely social game?
I think it's a social game, much like how WoW was for a period of time before they made it hard again.
Or like, you know, like I'm thinking like Warzone, you know, like dropping solo, like they're only like I don't know. I can't name anybody that wants to drop solo, you know? Duos, yeah, trios, quads.
I'll drop solo.
Yeah, dude, you're weird.
I ain't afraid, dude. I ain't afraid.
I'll do it too. I know.
Yeah,
You guys are
I don't
both
care.
weird. Okay,
Yeah, I mean-
but what I'm saying is it's more fun though with a group, right? If you had
Yeah, no
if you had to
doubt.
take your pick, you're not like I want to play this solo, right?
No, yeah,
Agreed.
I think
Okay.
any game is better with a group.
Yeah, same. Okay.
I'll tell you what game's not better than with a group.
Oh God, here we go. Go for it. Nice transition, by the way.
The game that's not better with a group is State of Decay 2.
Juggernaut edition.
So State of Decay 2.
I didn't know what you were talking about. Now I
State
got.
of-
Yeah.
yeah. So.
So okay, so
I don't know.
let's
Yeah,
get this
go
out of the way.
ahead,
All
Chris.
right, State of Decay 2. It's a Microsoft Studios game, right? Juggernaut edition. It's basically a re-release of State of Decay 2 from it's like 2 years ago now. The Juggernaut edition is supposed to improve on a lot of the misgivings from the first State of Decay 2 release. If
Improve.
that's right. So apparently that first version was real buggy, real kind of not great. It didn't have great reviews. And then 2 years into it, they released an updated version. As of like a couple of days ago, the devs are still tweeting out hot fixes and stuff like that. So they're still working on this game. And it's a survival. It's a zombie survival game. It is what GTA meets Ghost Recon Wildlands meets Walking Dead, pretty much.
I would closely compare it to the Ubisoft games like Ghost Recon Wildlands, or even more like the Division 2.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the Division 2 because you're kind of working in this dystopian end of the world type place, and you're working with either with a team or you're going out. But yeah, you know, gunplay, knives.
So basically, it's this open world game where you take your survivor and he's got tasks, right? He's got to build a base and recruit people to help him along the way. You go out, you do missions, you find more survivors, you clear out infested areas, and you do this part of the way, you know, for like 5 or 6 hours, and it starts to feel like GTA. Like you can just do whatever the hell you want in this game, and it lulls you into a false sense of security. Because
No, I mean, you can do whatever you want in this game, but not if you want to win.
So I think it's a difference in playstyles. So I think with the addition of the Juggernaut edition, like you had said, is that they brought in these big giant behemoths that are like raid bosses. And I was streaming it earlier today, and I had set up camp at the firehouse, and I had finally got a chance to move there, and I got everything all set up, and next thing you know, I look out and there's 4 fucking Juggernauts and 3 bloaters, and there's like I call them herds. They're called something else, but like herds of zombies just running around with reckless abandon.
For those of you out there,
I look at this and I'm like, what have I done?
So
why didn't I just stay?
Jared, hold on. So you got to explain what a Juggernaut is. A Juggernaut is like an 8-foot tall zombie, 400 pounds, pure muscle. You can smack them with a car and you'll wreck your car, basically.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody
tough.
remembers the Marvel character Juggernaut, or if you know what Juggernaut means, but it basically means massive, and that's what they are.
Yeah.
So Chris and I got a chance to play this multiplayer, and I'm almost certain that the game becomes harder in multiplayer. Like it recognizes that there's two real players instead of one player and a follower.
It's very common in games like that it ups the difficulty.
Sure, but I don't think it tells you that. See, the problem is that when you die, you lose the follower. It doesn't matter if it's in single or if it's in multiplayer. You've fucking dead. They're gone. So I think I had somebody in my one of my people was hanging out in my channel the other night when I was playing with Chris. Chris starts this quest line where I don't know.
Yeah, let me tell you about this. Let me talk about this quest, right? So you are in your base and you get a radio call from another survivor that's out there that needs help. So you say, "Okay, let me go and rescue you," because up until this point, I've been pretty legit. Like I'm an official warlord, right? I've got an abandoned auto factory. Right? I've got an abandoned auto factory, and in this factory I've got barracks, I've got a sniper tower, I've got an infirmary, I've got all of these things to allow us to live like kings in this post-apocalyptic world. So I'm just gonna drive down the street because you're like 300 kilometers away. I'm gonna pick you up, right? And I'm gonna bring you.
Can you move the cursor, by the way?
And I'm gonna bring you to this commune that we've got, right?
Yeah.
And so here's what happens, right? You go and there's this person that's like held up in I don't even know, like a what is it? Like a little store.
It was a pharmacy for you.
Like a storefront, right? And
yeah.
You know, they say, "Hey, I'm too weak to carry this. We've been making zombie perfume, right? It's supposed to detract the zombies if you use it, right? So you use it. I like to think of that Walking Dead episode where they put all the guts all over them so that they blended in. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, all right, you gave me this. That's very nice. Well, the minute you pick up that bag, there's like 50 zombies on you, and like I don't care. There's no living through that, right? And so
guess who didn't have a fucking zombie perfume?
Yeah.
This guy.
So Jared didn't have it in his inventory. I had it in my inventory. I tried to use it, and it just goes click, click. Nope, can't do it. Click, click, click. So died, right? Both of us died. Both of us ended up dying and losing a follower, right? So I was pissed because I'm like, look, dude, I've been king of the jungle up until this one stupid mission that, by the way, they don't have You know, like in GTA, was it GTA, where it would like give you like a difficulty level of the mission? Do you guys remember? It's been years.
Yeah, I think they did that in GTA.
So so this game doesn't do that. So you were thinking like, okay, this is just going to be like one of the other hundreds of quests that I did where I went and helped somebody and everything was cool. No, it's not. It's hard. So after that, Jared just decides, okay, I'm not playing multiplayer ever again. Screw this. I'm out. Peace. He's logged off.
I was
He's
so
back
pissed, dude.
Dude,
Oh
he
my
lost
God, I
an
was so mad.
army of followers.
So okay, listen.
I watched
listen-
him
listen-
just like lose.
Listen to this, Joe. So
Oh god.
So I leave the game and I go and I play some Apex. And then the next day, right? The next day I'm like, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to go in and I'm going to make this quest.
Make it my bitch.
Yeah, basically, right?
Didn't happen. No.
So I go in, I'm like, all right, I know what to do. I know that I need to use this item before all these zombies jump on me. So I get to the place, I pick up the bag, I start pressing Q, right? The use button, the action button. Nothing happens. Click, 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 click. 6 zombies with full on like riot gear, helmets, pads all over themselves, face shields. They come running in with 30 other zombies and they jump on me. And I'm half health before me pressing Q actually works. And you know what happens after it worked? Nothing. They still killed me. So
They're zombies.
you go from
they kind of like to do that.
you go from having
felt
like
fair.
6 followers, right? And you're trying to just amass as many of these people as you can because they've all got different skill sets and different abilities that you need to move forward. And then they just
Guess
start
who still
dying.
got all of his followers? This guy.
Have you done that quest yet? Joe, have you done that quest yet?
I don't think so. No, you guys are farther ahead than I
You
am.
got to come back
Well,
after you
the
do that quest.
Quest is follower based. Understand that. So
Well, but here's the thing. After our follower died, another one of my followers got that same quest. So,
It says that they might pop up more than once, yeah.
yeah.
So let's go back to the Juggernaut talk. These big Andre the Giant zombie guys. And this Andre the Giant zombie guys, like they
More like my 800-pound life, dude. Andre the Giant was not that fat.
He was anyway, they start charging at you. If they get a hold of you, they rip you up in the air, and like if they get a hold of one of your followers, they'll just like literally just pull them on
Oh,
him.
dude. That was so graphic when I saw that happen on
mine?
your stream. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like,
so graphic.
I was like this. I was like,
Yeah.
so yeah, and then so I have a couple of friends at work that have played this game and played it through, and I asked them about how do you kill the Juggernauts. They're like, dude, you don't kill them. You don't kill them by yourself. I said, okay, so what do you do about them? He's like, they're in the game designed to deter you to play a certain way. Right. So like you can't go into the game and be like, hey, like I'm gonna go in there and run a gun like crazy. You kind of got to pick your battles. Like if they're there, just go on and do something else.
So Juggernauts,
Come back later.
three landmines, and then you press E when they go down. That's how you kill those guys.
Not right around with landmines.
Officially from the devs, like they tweeted out, you do more damage when you're damaging them from behind, and also headshots. So there's that. But yeah,
Okay.
no, I agree, dude. I put like 100 rounds into one early game, right? And I didn't have 100 rounds after that to show for it, and he was still alive. So
What I started doing was, so it's, since I have this fire station now, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have 9 or 10 followers. I just lure them back, and they all kill them.
oh, well, that's
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's a different way. Also,
Yeah,
though,
be
Using
like-
your Tonker.
Man.
when you do that, they can just grab a hold of one of your survivors and rip them apart.
But dude, so the survivors, like they're not slaves to your ammunition pile, right? They just for some reason have unlimited ammunition.
Oh, true.
You're the only
they?
one that's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
So like they'll just start freaking hammering on these guys.
Well, because
I
like
didn't
it's
know that. I can take advantage of that.
well, here's
Yeah.
the thing, Joe. Like if you have a tower built, like a defensive tower, and there's an armed guard up there, whatever your it says it's required to operate, as long as you have that, then you're good, right? So if it's
Yeah.
like 2 ammo, as long as you've got 2 ammo, you're good
Okay.
for the day, and then it resets.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
so after all this, right? So what do we think? What do you think of the game?
I love the game. Like it's caused me some strife. Not as much as some other games, but like I like the play style. I like the fact that you have to think things through in order to get them done. I like the fact that like the resource gathering, like you're limited. Like it feels like a true something that would be as close to a zombie apocalypse kind of idea that I could possibly. Yeah.
So you're-
And I know people that are continually replaying it through, so I know the replayability is there. I want to get to the next map.
Well, and I mean, there's in addition to, I mean, you've got multiple difficulty settings. We're playing
easiest.
the basic B setting, right? That's what we're playing. But then there's also like a horde mode. So there's like an actual like old school Call of Duty zombie mode, right? Where it's just unlimited waves.
I haven't touched that, and I'm interested. What I would really like to do is get with everybody and play that on a horde mode.
Oh yeah.
I want to see what that's about.
Do you share the followers in that mode that you do?
I
in
have
sport
no
mode?
idea.
Because
I have no
that
idea.
wouldn't be worth it. It's like, yeah, let's just kill everybody.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so as a guy who likes crafting games, what do you think of the crafting in that game?
I think the crafting is the menus aren't very well done. Like once you figure it out, like oh okay, but like there's no like, hey, if you want to make this is what you need. Like it's very difficult. It's either highlighted or it's not. Sorry, I had a fly right here. But
Okay.
yeah, I think from the crafting menus are difficult to semi-navigate or understand, but once you get them, they completely make sense. So, but it's just not very easy in the beginning. Joe?
I think it's a fun game. When you first mentioned it to me, I thought you were talking about Dying Light, which is like its rating is like overwhelmingly positive. And then when I realized it wasn't Dying Light, I was like, oh well, this isn't like disappointing me. You know what I mean? So it's a good game. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I like the survival games. Sometimes they're more fun to do on your own. Sometimes they're more fun to do multiplayer. I've had a lot of fun doing this one solo so far. I'm just slowly doing my usual method, which is like methodically figuring out the entirety of the game. So it takes me a long time. But if I gave it a number rating thus far into the experience, I would say a solid 7.5 out of 10.
So you know, one of the biggest complaints from this game when it first launched was the number of bugs and just weirdness that would happen in this game. Have either of you experienced any of that at all? I know I haven't.
Small issues, but nothing that messes with the game.
Other than like a zombie like glitching through like a boulder or something
Yeah,
like
shit
that.
like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I had one mission that one of the freaks got on top of the roof of a establishment, which prevented me from finishing a quest. But I had to get creative with it to get him to, because there's no way to get up on top of this particular roof.
This is why you carry landmines and explosives, dude.
I did it. I did all that stuff, and it didn't work.
All right.
So I had to. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what I did, but I brought a herd over and made my followers, the people who I was protecting, go outside. And when that happened, he actually came down because he was kind of linked to them instead of linked to any aggro that I was trying to put on him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But anyway, that's State of Decay 2 in my nutshell. In Romison's world.
In Romison's
In
world.
your nutshell.
All right, guys,
In
you
my
heard it here
nutshell.
first. State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition. Romison approved.
Romison approved. It's got the Robinson stamp of
It's
approval.
got the seal of promising.
All right. Up next, quick update. Joe, Overwatch.
Yeah, so the Overwatch anniversary event is going on as we speak. It will go on through May 9th, or sorry, June 9th. They usually end them around like 10 a.m. Pacific, I believe. And you still got time to get in there and get those sweet event loot boxes. There's also right now on the Epic Store, you can get the Borderlands Handsome Collection for free, which is Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. That's free until the end of this week, I believe, and then next week there's another game. And also on the Epic Store, there's a massive sale going on. So just
Nice.
keep everybody apprised of current sales and stuff.
Nice. Just an aside here. Have you guys got all the skins and loot boxes that you want out of this event?
No, I haven't. I honestly haven't even started playing it yet, and so I know I'm gonna spend like 3 days just grinding my ass off.
So I'm gonna mention this because for those of you that quit the game, like I have a bunch of times and then go back later on, all of the skins are unlocked. So from every past event, you can basically get whatever skin that you want as long as you've got enough coin.
Yep.
Which is cool.
I got a ton of. I got 5,000 gold or something like that, and like 26 unopened loot boxes.
And then Brigitte has one of the best emotes in the game now, aside from Diva sitting down playing video games and eating potato chips. Brigitte's got a cat.
And Lucio DJ.
Oh yeah, and Lucio DJ.
Too.
But that one actually costs like money, right?
Yeah, you had to be an Overwatch League subscriber first year,
Right.
2019.
So
2019.
But Brigitte's got a cat, dude. It's a chonky cat.
A chonky cat?
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Little thicky puss.
Yeah, maybe we'll overlay it. Dude, I can't with you, man. Oh.
Well, I mean, are you having fun playing the anniversary edition or week there, Chris? You know, like farming for boxes and shit like that.
Yeah, you know what? It's been okay. Kat and I were playing comp pretty heavy, and then Cat's PC decided to crap out a little bit. So, I mean, yeah, I pretty much got the skins I want, so I'm good.
Cool. Well, I mean, I uninstalled the game because I've
Yeah, we
had
know.
that game.
Did
Oh, that's a surprise! You got it.
That was the surprise. Oh my
That
god!
was the
Did
surprise.
you really uninstall
Oh,
it?
yes,
dude?
he did.
I uninstalled it.
Wow.
He rage uninstalled it one night.
Yeah. It's the only way you uninstall a game that you've been playing for 4 years is a rage uninstall.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't get it off my computer fast enough.
Wow.
So the reason why I uninstalled Overwatch is because my issues or my issues with the competitive setup. My wife didn't like it when I played the game because I would get angry, you know, like I was a total asshole for like 30 minutes afterwards. Like I couldn't let it go.
That's so funny.
Right.
dude.
So, and that was the version of the game that I enjoyed playing the most. Like, yeah, it has quick play and it has all the arcade stuff, but it wasn't fulfilling, right? Like it. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? This game is not fun in any other mode.
And
so I'm
now
just
it's
gonna
not
go ahead and-
fun anymore.
Dude,
so it's just not fun anymore.
that's crazy.
It is what. So,
That is
I mean, I know.
literally a 180 between what we said last episode.
I know, and that's why I wanted to. I knew it was going to become a huge shock. Now, that's not to say that I will never come back to it. I have learned
you'll come back
recently,
to it,
with the
yeah.
last few years, to never say never because I always get burnt on them. Right?
Mhm.
I'll never play that. However, I'm still holding strong with World of Warcraft.
It feels so good to say I told you so.
I know. Okay. That's
But
fine.
I mean, I understand, and that's why I don't really get involved in too much comp. Is because it does. It gets you angry, and it's like, oh fuck, whatever character they, piss me off. And then it's like, dude, just stick with quick play and arcade modes and the workshop games and stuff.
Couldn't do it. I couldn't find the consistency that I was looking for game to game, regardless of the game mode.
Yeah.
Dude, you got just as much chance of winning the lottery as finding that. Like that's a hard thing to find.
Probably true.
In a game that so many people play is consistency.
I should play the lottery then.
So
don't do that. It's a waste of money.
So Overwatch, we know you're probably going to reinstall it and play it again here next week. But why don't you?
Not next week.
Not next week. Not unless he's drunk.
Not the week after either.
Why don't you tell us about the updates to Astroneer that have been going on?
So I took a pretty sizable break from Astroneer. It was the game that we all started playing
in alpha.
Other than Overwatch as a group. And in case you haven't played Astroneer, it's like kind of a space kind of cartoony resource gathering, crafting type of game. A lot of fun. They had an issue with multiplayer when it first started, where things would just like glitch through the planet or fly off into space, and all kinds of whack-ass stuff are going on. Anyway, they stabilized the game. It runs fantastic. They've even added some features as far as crackable features and being able to. One of the biggest issues that I had with the game was I suffer from a little bit of motion sickness, and I would play it, and for some reason it would take me out. And it would take me out for the night because I would feel this constant sense of motion. And tweet after tweet, I think they chilled it out a little bit. But recently, which is really cool, one of the biggest things about any multiplayer game that you play with your friends is that you have to have the host of the game has to be on. So, for instance, like if I'm the host of the save game and Joey wants to play on that map, and I'm not home, can't do it. So they had added the dedicated servers this last update.
Nice.
And you can get I forget the website that you can go to, but it's about $10 a month or whatever for dedicated servers. No, and up to 8 people can be playing at the same time. Now, understand that Astroneer is not real deep on storylines, but I think it's going to allow for some like really big mega bases to be built.
So here's my take on Astroneer, because this style of game normally isn't for me. And when we played it back in alpha stages, it was buggy as all hell, right? I mean, we broke that game on numerous occasions. Our little characters would just go floating out into the middle of space. They would just die for no reason.
Yeah.
But like I watched you play this the other night, and it looks like a whole different game. I mean,
it's a whole different game.
It looks polished. It looks clean, like the type of game that you probably want to play at release and not in alpha.
Correct. So obviously it's past release now, and they have said that they're going to start to be doing monthly or bi-monthly. No, every 2 months. I forget how to say it. Every 2 month updates. Anyhow. So, and they're going to be moving into the automation phase. So right now, when you craft these machines and stuff like that, they're all they operate on their own. So you have to take resources from one thing and take it to the other thing. So there's a lot of manual work to be done in and around the base. So if your base gets large enough and you're trying to do a bunch of stuff, it kind of becomes it's cumbersome for a single player to do unless you want to spend a massive amount of time just doing it. They're adding automation, which I think is really cool. Automated arms, things like that, sort of like a Factorio type of like look to the game, not from a top down or anything like that, but like so if you put a resource in over here and it refines it, it's going to move it along the line to hopefully make what you want to make. It's going to take some thought process and really good execution, and they also enhance the game quite a bit from a frames per second standpoint. So
this is Astroneer. It's old, but if you haven't seen it at all, you need to take a look at it. It's based on like you're like a little spaceman, and it's a resource gathering game. It's very, there's no PvP. It's pretty much a casual game. It's something to play Like what? While you're winding down, like who should play this game, Jer?
Who should play this game? I think it should cater to the younger genre, the younger kids a little bit. But it's very, very soothing. Like
Joe,
the sounds, the music, it's like you feel very isolated, but not alone. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I just had this thought, Joe, like because you're the Minecraft guy, right?
I mean, to a certain extent, yeah.
Like, so how does this compare to like doing stuff in Minecraft? Now, since the update, since they cleaned it all up,
it's a little simpler, but at the same time more complex. Like in Minecraft, you have more options to do different things, and they've added a lot in the recent updates. In this one, you have less options to build, but the components you need and machines you need to build those things are more complex than a lot of the ones needed in Minecraft. So it's a little give and take. I would say that the art style may cater to kids, but the difficulty of the game, especially with there not being much, there is now a tutorial. There wasn't before. But still, there's not a lot of instruction, like Jarrah said. It's basically you're there and you do stuff. You know what I mean? It's a fun game. No doubt about that. I would choose Minecraft over it, just because I don't know. Minecraft has always had staying power for me. But that doesn't. I really enjoy playing Astroneer.
all right. Jer, you're muted.
Jerry muted, I think.
Golly Jesus.
All right. So since the update, Jer, now that it's all polished and everything, and now that it's an actual like release candidate, what do you think? What are your overall impressions?
Well, they've optimized the crap out of it, so I'm getting double to triple the frame rates, so it's beautiful. I have yet to play it in multiplayer on a dedicated server. I would be looking forward to doing that, hopefully, with our group. And if any of you listeners want to get involved and play some Astroneer on a dedicated server, I'm down with that. But I think the update was really, really good, and hopefully just a little nugget of what's to come. Like I can see the direction of the game that they want to go in, and I hope they keep pushing that direction.
Very nice. Me too, because honestly, it looks like something I would want to play now.
Yeah, I think that they're going to take a similar route to Minecraft, as in constantly adding things. You know what I mean? And so possibly in even just a year or two, it could have all that diversity in it. They are doing a good job of making it better and better.
What I think would be really cool as an addition is if like you settled on one planet and other people settled on another planet, and you had sort of like this kind of cool economy going on. But I might be asking for something that's out of the realm of possibility with this game. So
talking like grand strategy meets crafting.
Yeah,
I don't know. That would be dope.
So, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there we have it. Astroneer, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. And then let's go ahead and switch gears here, because we're reaching like a 50-minute mark. Let's talk stream upgrades for small streamers, right? So there's a couple that I want to talk about real quick. I know I talked about the Go XLR last week very briefly. Honestly, I don't recommend this for somebody starting out, but God, it makes my life so much easier. Like I love it, like it handles all my audio. Every single piece of audio on my computer now has a fader. I love it so much. I can insert stupid, voice sayings. I've got this bleep button for when, Jeremy's talking. Jeremy, your camera just died, by the way.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. Let's do this again. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're back in. I don't know what happened. Oh, there it is. Hey, I'm back. Just kidding.
But anyway,
that was weird.
One of the
technical difficulties.
Maybe I should get a new camera as an extreme upgrade.
Probably. Yeah. So one of the One of the cheaper additions that I've made recently that's been night and day, literally, is the addition of a couple of lights behind my computer. So some face lighting. I tell you what, like, so guys, I'm using the C922 or C922E or whatever it is, and I've had this Logitech camera for years, and I've never been happy with the image quality that came out of it until I got decent lighting. And now I mean, it's still not the best, but for the size that we're looking at right now, like, it's perfectly fine. And I'm content with it enough to not want to, like, stab my own face with a fork through the monitor every time that I'm streaming. So, I picked up like a $40 ring light that has multiple settings. It's got an inline control, so I can flip it on and off with the push of a button. It stays plugged in. It's USB powered. It's great. It's like $40 on Amazon. And then I'm using another, oh gosh, what is this? Just a regular desk lamp that I've got pointed against my white wall that's just for like some spill light. And I'll tell you what, like, the results are fantastic. I think that's one of lighting is one of the easiest upgrades that you can do to make a crappy camera look halfway decent.
I agree.
What do you think?
As you see one side of my face.
Yeah, lighting is important. I just adjusted it here. My light. I use an LED, just normal light bulb in a desk lamp that I have on a boom, and I just kind of pointed at myself, and this magical.
Alrighty then.
What do I do with my hands, guys? What do I do with my hands?
What are my hands?
I'd like to say just really quick, the stream upgrade that I added recently is the Streamlabs OBS. If you use that, there is an app for your phone. It's a stream remote basically, and you can control everything. You just scan a QR code to connect your phone to your stream, and then every single time you open Slobs, you can start it up on your phone, and you can control scenes, audio drops, basically everything, starting up even, or adjusting things. You can do it all through your phone. So I think that is a good upgrade.
Does it how's it work, Joe? Is it pretty flawless?
It's pretty flawless.
Nice. Jared, what do you have by the way of stream upgrades? What can somebody do to improve their stream on a budget?
Well, know your stats for one thing, but do we want to talk about that, or?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so I recently stumbled upon. I'm a big stat-driven guy, big numbers guy, and I like to have the number justification that I'm doing something either incorrectly or correctly. Two things. Or one thing that I've done recently is I stumbled on this website called Twitch Tracker, and I can look up my own stats and see it in a graph form. And for some reason, when I saw it in a graph form, when I saw followers go up as well as view time, and average viewers, they go in parallel. That I feel as though that's me working in the right direction. So if you want to know about your own personal stats, or look up your favorite streamer stats or your buddy stats or whatever, and call BS on whatever they're saying, that's the site to go to. And understand, like, some of the stats are a couple days old. Like, it takes a little while for them to get updated, but it's a really, really good resource, and it tells you which game you did better with versus other games. So I think that it's a really good resource if used correctly to benefit your growth as a streamer, and to allow your viewer base, or understand where your viewer base is coming from.
So basically, if somebody wanted all of the analytics that they're not getting out of Twitch's own insight screens, you can basically go to Twitch Tracker and kind of see them on either a dot. Oh, what do they call it? Like a dot graph, or a bar graph, or a pie chart, or whatever, right? To know, how what's my average increase in viewership? How long are they staying in my channel while I'm playing certain games?
I like pie.
I like pie.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want to empower yourself more to grow your fan base or your community, this is a site to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is one other tool that it get on there is that it shows a calendar, right? And the days that you streamed, it has like a heat map on how well you did or how well you didn't do, and so on and so forth, or how much time, depending on what stat that you want to use as a derivative for the that you're looking for. So I think that site has some good use, provided that you use the information correctly, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've kind of sold me on it. I think it's something that I might start paying attention to, which is a massive thing, because I'm the kind of guy who's like, I don't want to know. It's just added stress. It's like, I am growing. I know that, like, that's good, but it is good to actually see certain things. You know what I mean? If you want to do that, I'm less interested in what games I do better with, but I am interested in increasing followers. So, it's good to have options there.
Well, I don't think that playing games just for the sake of getting followers. I think if you're playing game, so as a streamer, you're an entertainer.
No, I didn't
first,
think.
right?
I didn't.
No. I know that's not what you're getting at, but I think as a streamer, you're an entertainer and you're playing games. The reason why the face camera is so important is because people want to see a genuine reaction to what's going on, right? This back and forth that Joe and I are having.
Oh, they don't want to see that when I play State of Decay. That's for sure.
I kicked the table, and I wasn't streaming. You were streaming. I felt bad about it, but whatever. But it does give you correct analytics on which game is performing better from a follower and a viewer base. So, if, for instance, like State of Decay for me right now is my best stream game. It's the one that I've had the best, I will say, luck at, because there is a little bit of luck involved. But at the same time, it is my number one most popular stream game for me. So, and that's where my viewer base is going to. So when I think about choosing my next game, right, Joe? When I think about choosing my next game, my viewer base followed me on this genre of game. Maybe I should kind of stick to that sort of genre, and then once I get a big enough viewer base, I can kind of take a right turn or take a left turn. So
I mean, yeah, I really just think it's about if you enjoy the game. Like, if you enjoy the game, then by all means, you know what I mean? But if you're playing a game that you hate just for followers, that's a bad way to do it. I agree with what you're saying. There are some people who just stick to the same game all the time, even until they hate it. And they do it,
Yeah,
he did for a while. He was also a big no cam guy back in the day, but I mean, you get more views with cams. It's just, that's a bottom line.
I miss the mystery though of Moon, right? Like, what does he look like? Do you guys remember those days?
There's a lot of question about what he looked like.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows. Now the cat's out of the bag.
Yep.
His voice does not match it does now that I've watched him so many times.
Yeah,
but he's got a very like radio voice. And then you see what he looks like, and he's like, he just looks like a guy who works behind a desk. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's your normal average Joe.
Great entertainer, but so does Siegel.
He is. He's hilarious, dude. Hilarious.
Siegel looks like a guy that you check in at a hotel at. Hi, welcome to Hilton.
You think so?
Namaste.
Wait. You think Siegel looks like that? You think he looks like a concierge?
I don't. He looks like the reservation person at the desk.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know if I agree or not. I have no clue.
I know what you think he looks like, Chris.
Wait, what?
You used to say he looks like the kid from Bad Santa, which I find highly.
Did I really say that?
You did say that like a couple times back in the day.
Really?
No.
I don't know. I love Siegel though. I love Siegel
him
to death.
Too. He's great.
You know what?
I don't think he would care.
I think one of the reasons why I fell in love with competitive Overwatch so much was because of Siegel. Because every time I watched his stream, like, he did the math on everything. And I
He
missed
was
that.
the elitist jerks of Overwatch.
Yeah, he
Dude,
was.
He is a great gamer.
Elitist
Like,
jerks, dude.
very
Oh my
skilled.
gosh, that's a great reference, man. Great
Well,
reference.
speaking of streamers, do we want to roll into streamers for the week?
Yeah, let's guys, let's talk about the channels that we need to get out to our viewers, right? Joe, you want to go ahead and start it off?
Yeah, I'll head it off. My buddy Nomad Actual, he's an Australian. I shouldn't have to say anymore because everybody loves Australians. But he's got a good sense of humor. He's super deep into Escape from Tarkov. So if you're into that
Oh.
game or games like it, I would definitely check him out. He's good and he has all the inside information. I actually a while back, I also watched him stream this Spider-Man PlayStation exclusive from 2018 because I didn't end up buying it. I was into Red Dead Redemption at the time, and it was super fun to watch him get through it. Super cool game. So you can check him out at twitch.tv/nomad_actual. And his Twitter is the exact same, nomad_actual.
We'll throw links in. So what else? Like, how many people does he usually stream for? What's his community like?
I mean, he's probably I'd say he probably averages. I have no idea, to be honest, what his actual average is. But I go in there and he's got like 5-6 people in there. So, he's a growing streamer, just like the rest of us.
Definitely. So guys, just check him out. Check him out one day. If you're
check out my buddy Nomad.
If you're looking for somebody to watch, peep in the stream. Say hi.
Especially if you like Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah.
I do. You know what, man? I like that game, but I feel like starting it now would be like way too late.
No, they actually did a clean wipe today.
Oh, did that happen today?
They did.
Okay.
They wiped everything.
All right. Well, so Jeremy, what about you for channels? Who do you have on top?
So last weekend I was thumbing through channels before I went to work, and I was looking for Astroneer and stuff like that because this is when I was kind of getting back into the game. I was looking how other people were playing some of the things, and I stumbled along this guy named Knackers, NAACKERS, dude. He's a 30-year-old dude from the Detroit area. He's kind of like a regular gaming nerd, much like the rest of us are. Great personality, really fun to watch. He engages his audience really, really well. And he doesn't let anybody feel left out of his stream. So even if he has 15 people in his stream, which he usually streams for about 35, 45 people, I would say that he's kind of moving up toward partner if he's not there already. And he's been a lot of fun to really get a chance to know from an observer perspective. And the reason why he does game, if you look at his description, why am I here? Online communities have been my life for the last decade.
Yeah.
Sorry,
he just loves it, man.
I didn't hear anything after
description. Stop making fun of me and how I pronounce words. Okay?
I'm not making fun of you. It's just I think you were thinking Knackers when you said that, and it was cute.
Yeah. Just okay? Knackers. Yeah.
So definitely, and I mean, like, I've been in your channel, in your chat while he's been in there, and he seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, he's all right. He's a pretty cool dude. Yeah. And
dude,
get out there, and even if you're a streamer and you're a watcher or whatever you choose to be, or both, get in other people's channels, get involved in their communities, get a chance to know other people. You never know; they might help you out. Get to where you want to.
Way cooler people in small streams than I do at the grocery store, at the gym, or anything. You meet like-minded people. You know what I mean? It's a good place.
And that's what it's for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So
what about you, Chris?
Yeah, Chris, tell us.
Speaking of great communities, right? So I got to give a big shout out to Toad NA. He is an Overwatch streamer. So I met Toad because he rated my channel one night. He was done streaming. And he's like, hey, saw this and thought, hey, this looks good. Here's my viewers. And I said, okay, cool, thanks. Well, so I started watching him, and dude, he's phenomenal. So he streams mostly, like player VODs and tutorials. So if you are a subscriber of his, or if you're in his chat, you can basically request him to review your gameplay live on stream. So you'll send him a copy of your like a comp match from Overwatch, and he'll watch it on stream. He'll give you pointers and stuff like that. And the guy's good. The guy's a top 500 player on a few accounts, right? He's got a handful of accounts. He's either top 500, Masters. I think his lowest is like high diamond right now on one of his accounts. But you watch him play, and he's phenomenal.
My
dude.
lowest is high diamond.
You know, I watched him play Widow last night, and dude, I'm like, holy crap! Like the dude's aim is just phenomenal. But he's good. But here's the thing, guys. He's just a good dude, right? So normally, like, you'll jump into a stream, and he might have 20 to 30 people in there. But I tell you what, he talks to everyone. He engages everyone. You know, like when I jump in chat and say something, and he's like, "What's up, Shiesty?" You know, it's like it's just a fun place to be, you know? And especially like if you're into Overwatch and you know how toxic some of those games and some of that your teammates and chat and stuff can be, getting into like a community like that where everybody's pretty positive and just like cool with one another, like it's a good feeling, especially with Overwatch. So definitely check him out if you get a chance.
A breath of fresh air for real.
Yeah, dude, for real.
For real.
For real.
For reals. For reals.
So guys, I think that about does it for us. That's gonna wrap it up.
Well, what can we expect for next week, Chris?
I'm supposed to ask that to you, Jer.
No, I'm asking
No,
you.
so
you
think...
can't control this the entire time.
I know, right?
I thought you were gonna ask me. Now I kind of feel left
We're gonna ask everybody. So okay, so next week for me, I really want to dive into Crucible more. I think from what it sounds like, we're going to be diving into Maneater a little bit just to see, check that one out.
Maneater.
I haven't played, and I don't know if it's still open. I haven't played any Valorant yet. I've messed around.
It's released now.
Oh, is it
I'm not
released?
interested in the least.
So I may do that. I'm not sure.
I'd play CSGO if I was going to play a game like that. I'm not going to get into another. Yeah, I don't know.
So-
It wasn't super engaging. I didn't like watching it. It was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked watching it.
Yeah, check it out. I mean, it'll be good to hear, what you think about it.
So, if
I'm
you,
personally taking a break from all shooters, so they happen for me, man.
so if you like Crucible, or you want to see some Maneater and probably some Overwatch comp, you can find me over at twitch.tv/ShiestyChris. I will be streaming Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, like always. Joe, your turn.
Yeah.
What's on tap for you next week?
Yeah, Maneater. Man-Eater. I've been waiting for this game for a while. I love sharks, and you can murder people. All things that we enjoy. So I'm gonna check that out.
Hey guys, real quick disclaimer.
Hopefully I'll be able
We
to
don't
stream some of
condone
it. And I will hopefully be able to stream a little bit of Subnautica this week. So I hope to see you guys. Twitch.tv/Shabadoo, SHABBAD00. Because I'm super cool.
Link in the
Jer?
description.
He's super cool. I would agree. I'm also going to jump on the Maneater train too. So I downloaded right before we started recording this podcast. Me and Chris are going to play some Crucible a little bit later after I eat some food for the first time today. And then I've actually recently started getting into this city builder kind of game a little bit called Before We Leave.
It looked fun.
It does look. It's an interesting little fun kind of. I hate to say the word resource again, but resource gatherer, civilization builder, and more Astroneer. But my main game right now is still State of Decay 2. I'm hellbent on getting off the first map by the end of the week.
All right.
Could I just say one last thing? I said something wrong last week. We were saying that I believe it was May 17th, and we were saying that was the anniversary of Overwatch. It is actually May 24th is the actual date that Overwatch came out. So I just wanted to make sure that, we're all covered.
Sold.
Covered.
All right.
Thank you.
So, guys, you can find Jeremy at Romiston714 on socials, at Shabadoo for Joey on socials, at Shiesty Chris for me.
Shabadoo Gaming on Twitch.
Shabadoo Gaming with 2 zeros instead of O's.
On Twitter, yeah.
Okay. So, guys,
Yep.
that'll do it until next week or next podcast.
Thanks, fellers. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Night, gamers.
Night.
Night.
Night.